Darwin, Minnesota, population 1,318, is one of hundreds of forgettable little towns scattered alongside two-lane roadways in rural Minnesota. Although the Guinness Book of World Records honored the place for a while as the home of the world's largest ball of twine. Curiously, the town bears the name of Charles Darwin, who believed that every species continuously develops, evolves from an original primitive condition to a highly specialized state. As it turns out, the name of the town is perfectly appropriate. Meet the Lakeview Ranch in Darwin, Minnesota, the latest example of the evolution of Alzheimer's and dementia-related caregiving. When you visit the ranch, and you should, if you want to see for yourself the future of caregiving, it's what you won't see that's most important. There aren't any drug-addled residents slumbering unattended in their wheelchairs. Nobody's lying in their own waste or begging piteously for help. You're probably thinking about the past, and unfortunately, the prevalent evolution of caregiving. What you're likely to see at the ranch are a dozen or so residents, gently assisted by half a dozen caregivers. They're playing bingo in the spacious great hall. Or maybe they're baking sugar cookies. Or, best of all, they're petting the pony. One of the llamas, assorted chickens, a rabbit, the miniature donkey, or Maggie, the aging black lab with a thyroid condition. The residents could be involved in an outdoor activity, perhaps bubble blowing, or listening to music in the park. Or rides in a golf cart, a pontoon boat trip, or listening to a visiting Mennonite singing group before dinner. You'll be surprised by all the activity, especially because the residents have moderate to end-stage Alzheimer's disease or dementia. What's going on here is amazing.
It's just the best place to be. I still can't believe that such a place exists, but it's peace of mind for the families.
It's got a home-style atmosphere. I've always been pleased with the sunroom and the kitchen atmosphere, so when you sit down and have a meal, it feels like you're in a home environment.
They've got the right people doing the job.
Their staff is incredible.
Sure. Yeah, that's
They're such loving people. Like, you walk through the doors and they come up here and they just give you a big hug. We walked in here tonight and everybody just gave us a big hug. It's a wonderful feeling.
My mother, Essie Holmgren, suffered from dementia due to Alzheimer's disease. A parent at Lakeview Ranch was heads above any other facility that we looked at in being able to give the kind of care that we look for our mother.
Nearly every one of them has a history of aggressive behavior that's resulted in multiple expulsions from other dementia facilities and nursing homes. Perhaps what's going on here is actually miraculous. Virtually all of them will never be readmitted to a hospital behavior unit, a nursing home, or shackled to a restraint and left to die.
Let them grow more. Come back next year.
The Lakeview Ranch Care Model. Judy Berry runs the ranch. Right away when you meet her, you'll experience the intensity, the passion she has for her work. You'll find out why she got started in the business.
My own mother, increasingly addled, angry, and abusive as her dementia progressed, was dumped a dozen times by nursing homes, finally dying, drugged, helpless, and confined to a jerry chair, begging for my help.
That agonizing personal experience is Judy's inspiration. She quit her job as a sales rep for a barbecue rib company, and at age 55, with no formal training, spent her last dollar to buy a piece of land where she built her first care center. Driven by the memory of her mother's struggle with the disease and the circumstances of those last years,
I was determined to provide a caring environment that would meet not just the physical needs of the residents, but their emotional and spiritual needs as well.
the Lakeview Ranch approach is nothing less than the realignment of the traditional biomedical model to a person-centered communication model. The biomedical program considers abnormal behaviors to be products of a diseased brain that require treatment with behavior-changing medications, hospitalizations, and possible eviction from the facility. The latter, in contrast, regards these behaviors as a type of communication that should be explored, then followed by validation of feelings and emotions, which will ultimately address the unmet need.
My experience has proved that first, these sufferers are trying to express their unrealized needs, and second, that the customary nursing home response, bombarding the behavior with torrents of antipsychotic medications, is clearly wrong. Instead, discovering and then fulfilling the unmet need is my caregiving imperative.
As she puts it,
You shouldn't look at the disease as the cause of the behavior. Look at yourself, your approach, and understand why that behavior exists and address the underlying need.
simply put, here's the Lakeview Ranch care model. By pinpointing the underlying cause of the challenging behavior, the caregiver is able to satisfy the unmet need and subdue the behavior. Getting to know me. The pre-admission process at the ranch inquires deeply and probes thoroughly into the prospective resident's background. Experienced caregivers methodically interview family members to develop a detailed written biography of the prospective resident. Using this tool, all caregivers at the ranch become familiarized with such diverse subjects as the family composition, specifics about the first house and neighborhood, along with the family's most memorable times, celebrations, and favorite pets.
They have stories about my mom. They will say her favorite place is Beaver Bay. She loves to talk about that. They have found out about her, so they know what to say to her to get her to talk frequently.
This detailed inquiry facilitates what is essentially preventive treatment that will be used to diffuse potential aggressive behavior. People with dementia often have intensified spiritual need. They increasingly retreat into the past and relive unresolved issues. The validation of their feelings and the emotional and spiritual support that the ranch offers at this time helps to reduce anxiety and fear. The future of the Lakeview Ranch model of care. Can there be dignity and respect in Alzheimer's and dementia care? The Lakeview Ranch model is the absolute opposite of the traditional paradigm for Alzheimer's and dementia caregiving. The Lakeview Ranch approach is specifically intended to prevent or significantly reduce behavioral hospitalizations and ineffective nursing home admissions of those who suffer with this disease. Indeed, this model specifically focuses on prevention, employing person-centered, proactive disease management. In macroeconomic terms, the adoption of the model would fundamentally redirect governmental and other funding for this type of care to the front end of the caregiving continuum to provide the financial foundation for proactive disease management, high staff-to-patient ratios, and specialized staff training. Initial studies conducted by the Gerontology Department of St. Cloud State University found that the model reduces behavioral rehospitalization of Lakeview residents by more than 90%. In human terms, the model represents an aggressive approach to reducing depression, agitation, and verbal and physical aggression in this population, with a corresponding reduction in suffering for the patients and their families. American baby boomers who will soon need senior care and who deserve a system that will provide them with dignity and superior care, as well as emotional and spiritual support throughout their final journey.
It was such a blessing to have Harvey here for the last 4 or 5 months.
It brought him back to us where we could actually sit down and have a conversation. We could enjoy my father again.
Mom has been here for 4 years. I'm still amazed at the care that everyone here provides. And it's just the most incredible place, and I'm so thankful that she's here.
Detailed information about the Lakeview Ranch is available at www.lakeviewranch.com or by calling the facility at 1-800-546-5175. The Dementia Care Foundation assists all seniors needing specialized dementia care, regardless of financial ability. Information about the foundation, a Minnesota 501c3 public charity, is available at www.dementiacarefoundation.org.